Hello and welcome to my kitchen. I'm Judith. Today we're making shepherd's pie. So we're going to start with some chopped onions, chopped celery, and chopped carrots. Get the pan warm because we don't want it super hot. We're not trying to brown anything. We just want to soften. A little oil in there. And the vegetables go in. Beautiful mix of vegetables. And we're going to let those soften. Once they're softened, we're going to add 300 grams of minced roast beef, which I put through the food processor. It was a beautiful roast, and it's going to be a delicious shepherd's pie. So once these have all softened, we'll be back. Of course, you want to add a little salt in there. Do that before I run away. It just helps them soften and gives a little extra zing. Alright, we have softened the vegetables, and now we're going to add the minced beef. Now you could use whatever meat you prefer. Works just as well with lamb or pork. Put that in there. Now obviously that's going to be very dry if you just leave it like that. You also want bay leaf. We're going to add a cup of beef stock. Now if you have leftover gravy, you could use that. Unfortunately, if your house is like mine, you never have leftover gravy. See how quickly that absorbs in there? So we are going to add about a cup of water. I'm going to use warm water. Because you want this to absorb into your beef, but not so much because you're going to add a flour slurry to make the gravy. Once you have that all in there and happy, we're going to add some thyme. We already put the salt in it. If you want, you could add Worcestershire sauce. And I think I will today. It's not something I always add, but and it's not something you need to add if you don't want to. Okay, now we have it all stirred up. We're going to turn the temperature up a little bit to get it to start bubbling. And we're going to put a lid on and let it simmer about 20 minutes to half an hour. Then we'll thicken the stock, turn it into a gravy. We will put it in a casserole and cover it in some luscious mashed potatoes. Alright, we're back to check on things and add the flour and water slurry to make gravy. So let's pull the lid off, and it is bubbling wonderfully. So I think we want to turn the heat down just a little because we don't want to try to make dumplings here. Everything looks wonderful, smells delicious. And then we're going to add in the flour and water right in the center. There's about 1/3 of a cup of flour and an equal amount of water. Shaken together really vigorously so it all mixes well and no lumps. Stir that in. Okay. I didn't get it quite all in, so let's get the last bit in there. Still quite a lot of liquid showing. Now we are going to let that cook a little to thicken, but you want it on a very low temperature. So at this point, if you want, you can add some pepper, which I think I will do. Just some freshly ground black pepper. Stir it in. We are going to let this cook on a low temperature for a while to thicken up. Then we want to give it a taste to make sure that it's got enough salt in it. After that, we're going to pour it into a casserole dish and top it with the lovely creamy mashed potatoes, and then bake it. Alright, we're back. That did not take very long at all, probably 10 to 15 minutes. Let's give it a taste. And one of the things you want to check for is that the flour taste is cooked out. Sometimes, if your gravy hasn't cooked enough, you can still taste the flour, the raw flour. You don't want to taste that. And that is wonderful. So we're going to turn the temperature off now. Turn the burner right off. And we're going to pour our meat mixture into a nice casserole. Just like so. Oops. And then we top it with the mashed potatoes. And these are 2 large potatoes cut up, boiled in salted water, and then mashed with butter and milk. And I like to do, you could use leftover potatoes, but they tend to be a little stiff. So I like to use fresh ones, freshly made, because then they're not just squishing down into your meat mixture and getting lost in there while you try to organize a pretty pattern on top. Now once we have the potatoes in, we're going to dot with butter and then put in the hot oven. Now the oven I set at 375, but keep your eye on it. If it's not browning as fast as you would like, you could always turn the broiler on for a little bit. I often do. Now if you wanted, you could make your meat mixture early in the day and let it cool, and then top with the potatoes, which would actually help prevent a lot of the sinking that they do when you're trying to put them on top, because then it will be a little stiffer. Let me get this done. Just enough here to finish off. Now, I always make sure that I have a tray underneath my casserole for cooking to make sure that it's not going to boil over and get my oven all covered in gravy. And everyone hates cleaning an oven. Okay, there we go. Get it all nice and dot with some lovely cold butter. Just try to get it on there evenly. Okay, now it is ready for the oven. And we'll be back once it's all nicely browned on top, and we'll have a lovely dinner. And there we have shepherd's pie. Like I said, you could serve it with a green vegetable or salad. I've chosen green peas mixed with soybeans, which is one of my favorites. So we're going to have a lovely dinner. So drop a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you again soon.